Sorry for
Okay,
that.
ready? Okay, call the meeting to order of the Otero County Commissioners Planning and Zoning meeting. Approval of the minutes.
I would move to approve the minutes.
I will second that. Been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Old business. Annual use by review U571-23 Wayne Caldwell Atlas Towers LLC.
Okay, this is an annual review for the tower. They applied last year, and the tower's erected. It's not finished. They don't have all the equipment on it yet, but it's going to provide more wireless mobile connectivity. It's a Verizon tower, and the property is commonly addressed as 23207 US Highway 71, Rocky Ford. The owner of record is Wayne Caldwell, and Atlas Tower 1 LLC is the applicant. I did present the pictures to the Planning Commission board, and they made a recommendation to review it again in 1 more year. So, and I did email with Atlas Towers, and they said that they expect to have all the equipment on it and functioning within 6 months or so. So this is a location here, and notification zone, everybody that was notified of the hearing. And it is in 1041 area, Highline, but that particular piece doesn't have any water on it. It's just kind of a storage area. And there's a location just off of County Road Z and Highway 71, south of Highway 10. Okay, that's looking at the site prior to the tower being constructed. It's looking west on County Road Z. And this is in the lot looking north to where the tower would be built. And then this is, the tower is up. I went and photographed it last week. So,
Very beautiful.
yeah, nice blue sky. Board did recommend review again in 1 year.
Question? Nope. So I'll make a motion to approve the use by review U-571-23. Subject to the tower must be completed by 2025. Comply with any and all health department requirements within their entirety and review in a year.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the use by review U571-23, subject to tower must be completed by 2025 and comply with any and all health department requirements within their entirety and review in 1 year. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. No more old business, we'll go to new business.
Okay.
Minor subdivision MI-1014-24 Wayne and Gail Stuklik.
Okay, this is a request to separate 0.59 acres from 8.12 acre parcel, and then combine the 0.59 with a 0.23 acre parcel. The reason for this is they need a new leach field and they didn't have enough room. It's in an A1 zone district. Property is commonly addressed as 27930 County Road 20.5, Rocky Ford. Owners of record are Wayne and Gail Stuklik, and Mr. Stuklik was there to make his request to the Planning Commission board. They have hilltop water for potable water and a septic system for wastewater, and access is off of County Road 20.5. So the piece in red is the piece that is being split off of the mother parcel on the right, and go to the next one. It's a notification zone, everybody that was notified of the hearing. And it is in a Catlin area, but that particular piece, it's under 3 acres, and so it does not cause any 1041 issues. And this is just an aerial view. The 0.59 is split off of the mother track, and then it will be merged to the little front where the little house is. And there may be a few more.
There is, it's not. It's too far of a distance for Wendy.
Okay.
That's weird. Yeah, it's changing on my screen, but not that one.
Okay, so anyway, the board did recommend approval of this. It's just a simple subdivision to fix a problem that's on the little house, so.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak for or against this? If not, we need a motion.
Okay, I move to approve the minor subdivision MI 1014-24, subject to, within 60 days, Wayne and Gary Stucklick will follow deep preparation instructions indicated on the resolution.
I'll second what he said.
Okay, been moved and seconded that we approve the minor subdivision MI-1014-24, subject to, within 60 days, Wayne and Gail Stucklick will follow deep preparations instructions indicated on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, minor subdivision MI-1015-24, Dennis and Judy Carroll.
Okay, this is also a request to separate 3.49 acres from 26 acres in an ag zone district. Property is commonly addressed as 26107 County Road 22.5, Rocky Ford, Colorado. Owners of record are Dennis and Judy Carroll. Dennis was there to make his request to the Planning Commission Board. There's Newdale Grand Valley Water for their potable and a septic system for their wastewater needs. Access is off of County Road 22.5 in Rocky Ford. They just want to split the parcel to sell. Somebody wants to buy it and build a house there. And they had plenty of land, so I'll show you the pictures here. So Mr. Carroll owns that whole piece, and the piece in red is the piece that's being subdivided off. That's a notification zone, everybody that was notified. And it was under the Rocky Ford High Line, but it was dried up before the Carrolls bought the property, so there's no 1041s. And here you'll see there's the aerial view on 22.5. And this is looking north on 22.5. And that's looking to the west at the southern border of the property. And that's at the northern border looking to the west. And that's looking back to the south, so they're just taking that little corner out of that old field there. The board did recommend approval, so county staff has no issues with it either.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak for or against this minor subdivision? If not, we need a motion.
I will make a motion to approve within 60 days, minor subdivision MI-1015-24, subject to within 60 days, Dennis and Judy Carroll will follow deed preparation instructions indicated on the resolution.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, we approve the minor subdivision MI-1015-24, subject to, within 60 days, Dennis and Judy Carroll will follow deed preparation instructions indicated on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Hearing D, use by review, U578-24, Larry and Linda Hall.
Okay.
Lex.
This is a request to have some storage units built in an agriculture A1 zone district. Property is commonly addressed as land in Sweet, Colorado. Owners of record are Larry and Linda Hall. Mr. Hall was there to present his request to the Planning Commission Board. Access is off of County Road 24.5. There's no need for potable water or septic on this particular site. So we'll go through the pictures. This is where the proposed request would be. Notification zone, everybody that was notified of the hearing. And it's not subject to, it doesn't have irrigation water in that particular area. It's been moved off, so there's no 1041s. And this is just an aerial view of where he's proposing to put the units. And this is just on County Road 24.5 looking to the east. Same 24.5 looking south. And then this is looking kind of to the northeast, just to see that it's a clean pasture right now. And then this is looking north on Road 24.5, and there is a fire hydrant right there. We've had requests in the past, and that was one of the things that they said would be good to have, is a fire hydrant in case they had a fire or something there. So, anyway, the board did recommend approval, and there's one more at the end. It's a possible way of a layout. It'll be fenced with probably a 6-foot chain link fence with barbed wire on top. So this is kind of maybe a mock-up of what it would be like. It's still in the planning phases at this point, and Mr. Hall stated that he would just have it open from dawn till dusk, so basically daylight hours. No need for lights because it wouldn't be open at night. Most of them aren't. We talked to some of the other people that have storage units, and they usually don't allow it unless it's an emergency. So, and it would be, keypad would be installed to go in and out, enter through the gate. So there were a couple people. Mr. McElroy lives north of him. He just made a comment asking if it would affect property values, which I don't know if it would or not. And Barry was there also, and he had some comments about lighting, view shed, possible trash blowing around. So, but the board did recommend approval of this. So it's a pleasure of the board.
Hi, hello.
Yes.
You good? So it won't have access off of Sugar Road, right?
Correct.
All access is going to be off of 24.5?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And the units don't go all the way to, that's Sugar Road right at the bottom, right?
Yeah, it's at the angle
So the
there.
units don't come all the way down to Sugar Road?
No. So Mr. Hall's house is there on the right.
Yeah, I see it on the right, and then that's his barn there on the back, right?
Yep, and then there's 2 other parcels that he owns that are accessed off of Sugar Row. So
Okay,
the
that's why I
access-
just wanted to make sure, I didn't know how far, that'd be south they were coming, right?
Yeah, so it basically follows, there's a set of power lines and there's a utility easement, so it would follow that just outside of that utility easement.
Okay.
And there's a gray area, it just says entrance over there on
Off
the
of
top. Yeah,
24.5?
that would be it.
Yeah.
It's out of our right of way. They will put a pipe in because there's an irrigation ditch that still gets used, so that would provide the access. And Mr. Hall said that he would probably fence it further in, so if somebody had a trailer, they could pull all the way off at 24.5.
Yeah.
Questions, comments?
Is it, sorry, no, go ahead. I just had a couple others. Is it just for the storage units, the buildings themselves, it's not for like trailers and boats and things like that to be put outside, right?
Possibly trailers and boats,
Okay.
but at this time, just two sheds about 20 by 200 that would be on the west side there, the 2 furthest to the west
Okay.
at this time.
Thank you.
Okay. More questions?
Do we have anyone here to speak for or against? Barry?
My name is Barry Shosta, reside at 18 Sugar Road, which is the property just to the east of there. Okay. I guess, having the siting plan helps a little bit because we didn't have that information at the planning commission meeting. But it's difficult to decide whether it's going to be a positive thing or a problem. And part of that is because we didn't have a whole lot of information. I think that was the first we heard of it in terms of it's going to be 25 units is essentially what Larry had mentioned. So I think, I do have some concerns, and maybe it's addressed during part of the stipulation process, but about security. Again, no lights, it's going to have a farmyard light out there, because that would make sense, so you have nobody breaking in, for example. Is it CCTV? 24/7 access, I think, has been already looked at. But those are concerns because primarily it's a residential area. I mean, it's open space, but it's a residential area. Perhaps the application could be reviewed and additional information provided and then, tabled until at that point in time that we have that information. Because like I said, I'm not against it, but I don't have anything to base my decision on in terms of my opinion. If the project is approved, there should be stipulations regarding access, regarding security, and I'm sure those will all be lined out. As far as view shed, my primary concerns are view shed and property values. Because the view shed, I sit on that east side, and I catch part of it. And I, for one, would hate to see a 6-foot chain link with 3 strands of barbed wire as part of my backyard view. And so I think, you know, if we look at something, whether it's buffering with landscape trees, bushes, or wrought iron, you know, I looked up about property value. In the city, they say that storage facilities are an asset. But it's because they look at office buildings. They look like office buildings. They have lighting, they have landscaping, they have wrought iron fences. And I'm not saying that that should be out of the county, but it should be nice enough. And again, I think view shed is important. If I was to sell my property, I want to make sure my property values aren't impacted because of a commercial facility in the neighborhood. Because, you know, if you look at 6-foot chain link with 3 strands of barbed wire, it looks like a prison. You know, you're building a jail, I mean, it looks like the yard. So, again, that would be one of my concerns. I think you need to look at the aesthetics as well as the functionality. If approved, the project needs to be an asset and not an eyesore. And I think, you know, if someone was to build on the west side of Swing, for example, next to Tim's house, there would be questions, there'd be concerns about that location. And again, those have to be addressed within the stipulations. I think, you know, entrepreneurs always have good intentions. I've dealt with them for years. Good intentions up front, but then it changes. You know, take for example, the animal boarding facility on Highway 50. I mean, it's practically gone to the dogs, to make a pun, because it's run down, you know, I mean, I drive by there going to Rocky Ford all the time, and it is an eyesore. Quite frankly, it's an eyesore. So I don't know if Larry would do that, and I would hope he doesn't, but again, the potential exists for that. I think, you know, the planning process needs to be incorporated into applications, and then mitigation of any issues could be developed. So with that, thank you. Address any questions you might have.
What were you talking about on the way to Rocky Ford?
When I drive to Rocky Ford, there's that boarding facility, I think for dogs.
Oh, I,
Right
But it's
next to the
right
church.
off the
Just on the
highway.
south side, right?
Yeah.
Is that making a church?
Yeah, it's right by the church.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, you know, he's got tarps and they're tattered and they're hanging and there's weeds and there's, you know, doors hanging and stuff like that. So it does not look good.
Welcome to the country.
Oh, yeah, well, and that's why we live in the country, you
Yeah.
know, because we want view shed.
Yeah,
Anything else?
Any other questions?
I know.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yep.
Larry, you have something to say?
Well, yeah,
Come on up to the mic, Larry. Speak, state your name.
I'm Larry Hall.
Thank you.
I'm the applicant here. First of all, I don't really understand everything he's talking about. The only thing that he said the other night at the commission, where it was approved by the board, was that he had a problem with lighting that would, can we put the map back up there again? Is that possible?
She's trying.
She's getting it.
Okay.
Probably that last slide.
Yeah, that's the one I'm pretty sure.
Now, I don't hear it too well, but did I hear Barry say something about breaking in or?
security.
Security.
Just security.
Security? Okay, so, yeah, a 6-foot chain link fence with the barbed wire up. And now we see from where Barry's house is on the very south corner there, right?
Yeah, southeast corner.
On the very bottom to this side. And so his problem the other night was the lighting might shine into his house or something like that. I believe that's what you said.
No.
That's not what you
That
said?
wasn't the only issue.
That
Right, but it was more, would the lights be on all night?
that was something you said though, correct?
Would the lights be on all night?
So when
for
I
example?
said that we would only have access daylight hours, there would be no reason for lighting except possibly a motion censored light that if someone did break into the property, it would light up to see.
And that'd be,
If
that would
if
be.
we had, if I have cameras installed there, it would be able to video who might be there. Is that
Yeah.
an objection? Is that?
No, that's fine. And that's what I was pushing
So,
for.
and that's, would be fine? That would be fine?
That would be okay.
If we have so I'm a little, I'm a little nervous about all this because I don't usually do this stuff, you know? But if I have a motion censored light, that if someone enters the property at night that comes on and a video camera to see what is going on there, then I think that answers your objection.
Well, and again, that was only one of them.
One of the, what are the others now? I didn't
Well,
understand
it was
them all.
property values,
Property values, okay.
and again.
And we are out in the county, we are in the farm. Well, you want to look a little bit further to the north and east, there's a haystack and a feedlot. It's pretty run down. It's like Mr. Baldwin said, welcome to the country. I think that's my thing there. As far as trash and all, you can see that my property is pretty well kept. There's no trash involved there. And I'm going to keep it clean. That's all I can say. I don't know what else to say about that. I'm not a trashy guy.
Right. Well,
I'll keep it clean.
And my
So,
concerns were.
I guess
that-
the other thing is property values. Is that your other
Well,
concern?
and view shed,
Say again?
in looking at from,
And you don't want to see you don't want to see
I don't want to
the,
see barbed wire
barbed wire
and
fence.
chain link. And I think that
see.
was addressed in the planning commission. They talked about potentially
I see.
alternative methods of
Okay.
fencing.
well, I don't know how to address that. I'm not going to address that right now. And so I'd like to get this done. I'd like to start it as soon as possible. So I don't know what to say now. Guess I'll sit down.
Larry, I have a question.
Yes,
We didn't have, it was just gonna be, are you gonna be the managing person for the?
Yes, sir. I'm the owner and the manager. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if you were hiring somebody to take care of them. or-
No, I take care of myself.
Okay. Lex?
Any other questions? And I don't know how to go about the property value thing.
No, that's hard to, it's unpredictable. Who knows?
Right.
I am going to look at what the planning commission approved, and I gotta go with what they approved, and so I'm gonna say that, I move to approve use by, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong, no, I'm not. I move to approve the use by review, so it's gonna be a use by review. You will review it yearly, every 2 years?
Yep.
Whatever.
Until he got them up, you know, and then we usually try to leave a span, a couple year span, once it's erected, that if we do receive complaints, then we address them, and we have revoked permits before in the past.
And it's reviewed every year.
Not every single year, but we usually do on something like this, if he says, I'll have it built within a year, so we'll do a review. We usually always do 2 of those, 2 annual reviews, to just make sure the neighborhood, you know, isn't having an issue with it also,
Right.
so.
I move to approve the use by review U-578-24 Larry and Linda Hall, subject to, 1, Larry and Linda Hall will comply with all instructions on the special use permit.
And I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the use by review U-578-24 Larry and Linda Hall, subject to Larry and Linda Hall will comply with all instructions on the special use permit. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Anything else, Larry?
No, sir.
Okay,
I have nothing else at this time either.
okay, nothing else? We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.